Welcome to part 2 of import style tutorial. By now you must be set up to try import styles in Qubio. This video explains everything needed to map right data into your template. Docx template editing is not covered because you can use any number of internet resources to get help in that area. The first concept we'll start with is mapping fields, which are tokens enclosed in angular braces. These tokens must be mapped to the right data sources in Qubio. It's not as hard as you think, due to easy mapping fields, which we'll talk about soon. Easy mapping fields are known fields created by Qubio developers to make mapping easy. Read through brief descriptions on the screen. The video has examples to show you what they mean. After mapping fields and easy mapping fields, we want you to differentiate between standalone data fields called scalar and table fields, which must be together as part of a larger unit. Table fields may also repeat. Scalar and table fields must never be mixed up as part of the same table in a template. With the basics sorted out, let's now look at the sample template we downloaded at setup. I just color-coded scalar fields in yellow and table fields in purple to show you around. By the way, I also use markers and table outlines and grid lines whenever I edit the template. Each mapping fields, that is the words in yellow and purple, must be mapped to a data source in Qubio to fetch the right data. Easy map fields have unique field names for each piece of data which is available for mapping and fetching. Now check out the content at the top left part of the invoice, like logo, company information and such. Content like this, which remains the same in each invoice, must be made static in the template, and you will want to avoid using mapping fields for such content. Now below invoice you will see mapping fields, which is the fields between braces, words like invoice number, terms, date and such. These are called mapping fields, but how do you map them? And this is where the Easy Map catalog is really handy. This catalog, which is part of the help content, lists all data available for mapping and gives it a unique name. When you use these known fields called easy mapping fields, Qubio knows exactly where to pull data from when the field is used in your template. Let's start the import. Notice that on the left is a mapping process. But since our sample use easy maps keys, mapping is already done for you and all you need to do is to accept by choosing next. You will now see a preview of the template with dummy data. Notice what happens if you get it wrong. This time I'm going to deliberately edit the invoice to change easy mapping keys on invoice number and terms. Notice that this time I will need to map invoice number and terms, which is pay on receipt, to the right piece of data. Getting this right is a tricky exercise. When you get the mapping wrong, you'll see that you will have to return back, know exactly what you want to map to, and change the mapping. If you don't get it right, you will have the template which actually shows you wrong data. You will avoid all of the pain using easy map keys because they help you avoid a number of mapping errors like this. You will want to keep the catalog handy as you customize your form. Let's now see what happens by replacing service date, a table field, with ship date, a scalar field. This is a serious error. While mapping goes through because both fields are valid mapping fields, preview fails. The concepts we learned in today's video are really important. Mapping fields, easy mapping fields, scalar and table fields. This completes the basic module. You should be ready for making your first import.